you miss the opening night return of the NBA last night in Orlando? If so, stay tuned. I'm going to talk about the games coming up. Do me a favor and hit the like and subscribe button. I really appreciate it. Now let's get to the episode. First thing that I want to talk about is the Jazz and the Pelicans game. Great game. I'm so happy that the NBA is back. The NBA returning is much more than just a sport and the casual fan could watch these games. With the NBA coming back and the return of sports is giving America something to look forward to, some type of normal life coming back together. You know, COVID has been messing everything up, and the NBA coming back could kind of give us a little bit of hope. But with the Jazz and the Pelicans game, it was a great game. This game, the winner won by 2 points, which was the Jazz. The biggest issue that I have with the Pelicans and something that I'm worried about is the minutes restriction on Zion. This dude has been on a minutes restriction for a long time. It's been damn near a year. Why is he still on a minutes restriction? I don't know if it's because he left the bubble in Orlando and he had to come back and get, accustomed and acquainted back with his teammates and stuff like that, get some practice time in. I'm not exactly too sure. But what I do know is to have your number one pick only playing 15 minutes is ridiculous. They had a chance to win this game, and the Pelicans are fighting for a playoff spot. Every game in Orlando is crucial for them. Are they even trying to really make the playoffs, or are they just trying to coast into the offseason and worry about next year? I have no idea. But what I do know is when your team is in a tight situation and it's crunch time, you need your best players on the floor. Zion and the Pelicans coaching staff and trainers, they need to get that boy in shape and get him up to speed so he could play 30-plus minutes a game. Because in only 15 minutes, he scored 13 points. The dude is dominant. Anytime he touches the floor, he is dominating. Get him on the floor. Some other things that I've seen with the Pelicans is, some of these guys have some rust. It's to be expected. The NBA has been gone for 4+ months, and, it's going to take some time. Some of these guys haven't even dribbled a basketball or got shots up or anything during the quarantine. So it's going to take a little bit more time to knock the rust off. Unfortunately, for teams like the Pelicans that are fighting to get into the playoffs, they don't have any time to knock off the rust. They need to get their shit in order, get up to speed, and start, putting some W's get some W's in the win column, Every game is crucial. Brandon Ingram, he looked great at times. He's getting to his spots on the floor and he's working the mid-range. This kid is going to be special. He has all the talent in the world, all the skill in the world, and he's putting it together. Mind you, this dude is only like 22 years old. He still has so much time to grow, but he's knocking down his threes. His mid-range looks fine-tuned. He has his spots on the floor where he knows if he pulls up from there, he's hitting it. With that being said, these Pelicans struggle against the Jazz mightily. Almost all their players other than Drew Holiday, I believe, shot under 50%. Lonzo had a horrible shooting game. He was like 2 for 13 from the field. Brandon Ingram was 7 for 20. So the youngsters, they were struggling last night against Utah, but like I said, that's to be expected against the Jazz. Rudy Gobert is a dominant force. He's altering all different shots, and it's just tough to get a basket against the Jazz. The Jazz played one hell of a game. They didn't come out of the gate strong, but what I seen was Mike Conley was getting shots up. He's had a hard time adjusting going to Utah. He's been the focal point with the Grizzlies his whole career, and he's had one hell of a career. But this year in Utah, he couldn't really find his niche, his spot, the way he fits in with that team. Last night, I seen him getting a bunch of shots up, and he looked great. Mike Conley needs to continue that if the Jazz are going to have any type of hope in the playoffs. And get Rudy Gobert some damn shots. Throw him some lobs up. He needs to get at least 10 to 15 shots per game because he's very effective. His field goal percentage is high. All of his shots are around the basket. So throw the ball up and let him try to finish it. They need to throw more lobs to that guy. Overall, great win for the Jazz. They won by 2 points. The Pelicans are young. They don't quite know how to close a game yet. That's going to take more time with these youngsters. Being able to close a tight, close game is tough in the NBA. You're playing against the best basketball players in the world, some true professionals, and the Jazz have a lot of veterans that know how to win basketball games. But overall, great game. One hell of a way to start the season off in Orlando, and I was pretty excited. But let's get to the meat and potatoes of this episode. What everybody wants to hear about is the Clippers and the Lakers. There's been a lot of heat and a lot of shit talking all year long about who's better, Clippers and Lakers. And last night, the Lakers won by 2. It was a terrifying game. There were droughts in the game where the Lakers couldn't get a basket. But overall, it was beautiful. It was so much fun to watch. I was very engaged. And I was just happy that basketball is back. Anthony Davis played one hell of a game. There was a stretch in the third quarter where he made 2 or 3 threes in a row, had some beautiful fadeaways. When Anthony Davis is playing like that and his shots are falling and his confidence is sky high, nobody is going to be able to beat the Lakers because that's Anthony Davis. We haven't even touched on LeBron. LeBron is a god in the playoffs. Everybody knows this. LeBron seemed like he kind of coasted through the game yesterday. He didn't really turn it up too much. He wasn't really overexerting himself. It makes me think, yeah, LeBron's a little bit older. It's going to take, a few weeks for him to get his legs under him all the way and get back into NBA shape, NBA game shape. But LeBron still had a near triple-double. He didn't shoot particularly well from the field, but in crunch time, he made it happen. He did what LeBron does. He made the game-winning shot. He got his own rebound off the miss, and then he put it back in to go up by 2. And then he played great closeout defense on Paul George and Kawhi Leonard in the closing seconds of the game, helped the Lakers get the win. Some things that I want to touch on with the Lakers is that Kyle Kuzma played a beautiful game, man. Kyle Kuzma has been like the forgotten star for the Lakers. Well, star, if you will. This whole season, he's been trying to find his spot on the team. How does he fit in? Kind of like Mike Conley on the Jazz. How does Kyle Kuzma fit in with this veteran Laker team? It is no longer Kyle Kuzma, Lonzo, Brandon Ingram, and the young guys. It's LeBron James and Anthony Davis's team. Everybody else just kind of find a role and get the hell out the way. But the Lakers are going to need Kyle Kuzma if they're going to win a championship. And last night, if he plays anywhere on the level that he played last night, the Lakers are going to have one hell of a chance to win. He was playing great defense, which Kyle Kuzma, that's a knock on him. His defense is kind of non-existent. So he was playing beautiful defense. There was plenty of times when Paul George or Kawhi was trying to bring it to the basket and he was getting deflections, knocking the ball out of their hands, disrupting their shots, causing turnovers. Great defense by Kyle Kuzma. 2 other things for Kyle Kuzma. He was making his 3-point shots. Thank you, God, because all season Kyle Kuzma hasn't been able to make a 3 to save his damn life. I believe he's shooting under 30% from the season. That's horrible. That is horrible, and it's not acceptable. Last night, he made, I think, 4 threes. He was like 4 for 6. I don't know if he can sustain that high quality of, shooting, but even like 38, high 30s, 3-point percentage will help the Lakers get by. In addition to his 3-point shooting and his defense, Kyle Kuzma's passing was on point. Kyle Kuzma can't pass to save his damn life. I don't know if that's what he was practicing during the quarantine. Let's pray to God, because I feel like almost every time Kyle Kuzma passes the ball, it's a turnover. But last night, man, he was passing the ball on point, hitting his teammates in stride, hitting them in the right spots, hitting them in the breadbasket so they could get a perfect shot off. Great game by Kyle Kuzma. One other player that caught my eye, and I will admit I was wrong on this guy, is Dion Waiters. I did not want the Lakers to sign Dion Waiters. I felt like he was a fat, lazy piece of shit, honestly. Boy, was I wrong. Since the scrimmages started in the opening night yesterday, Dion Waiters has been balling. And he honestly looks like the player the Lakers have been missing all season. The Lakers needed a backup guard, a ball handler to be able to come in, get his own shots, hit open teammates, get to the basket, hit the three, a little bit of everything. And Dion Waiters has been doing that and then some. I really hope he can sustain this because he is making me eat my own words, and I love it. Dion Waiters, keep on coming out, getting the Lakers 10 to 13 points off the bench, play some big crunch time minutes if needed, and it's going to help us get a championship. Good shit, Dion Waiters. Good shit, Kuzma, and good win by the Lakers. Let's jump to the Clippers. A lot of people are going to say, well, the Clippers, they didn't win because Lou Chicken Wing Williams, he didn't play the game because he's getting quarantined still. Montrezl Harrell didn't play in the game. So that's two big pieces for the Clippers that did not play, and the Lakers only won by 2. As Laker fans, should we be a little bit worried about this? I don't think so. It was the first game back, and a win is a win. It doesn't matter who wins, who doesn't win. I mean, who plays, who doesn't play. A win is a win, and the Lakers got it. But with that being said, without the Clippers playing with 2 of their best players, Lakers, they should have stomped a mud hole in their ass. I really think so. But, hey, man, we started off the Orlando bubble right. We got a win against one of the best teams in the league. The Clippers, man, they're no joke. Every single person on our team knows how to play defense at a very high level. They all know how to shoot threes, and they all know their roles very well. I really hope we get a Lakers and Clippers Western Conference Finals because this is going to be fun. But, hey, man, the NBA is back. We are back. Playoffs are going to start soon. Life is getting excited, man, for the sports world. It's been dead as hell since the COVID shutdown, and this is just a little taste of what we have coming. I can't be more excited, and as sports fans, I'm sure you can't be any more excited as well. Thank you so much for checking into another episode of Talk Smack with Mac. Don't forget to check me out on YouTube, Instagram, Spotify, iTunes, Anchor, and all those great places. Talk Smack with Mac. You know what it is. Check me out. Peace.